Hey, happy Friday. Welcome back to Certified Country. I'm Sophie Shalacy. Joining me today in the studio is Chase Rice.
The world don't move and all I need is you and 3 chords and a tree.
We've had an interesting road the last 3 years, and we got a new label, we got a new song, we got a new album. The music's back, that's exciting for me.
And I want to talk a little bit about your road to music. Your resume is absolutely insane. Not only are you an acclaimed musician, former football star, NASCAR pit crew, Survivor runner-up, fashion designer.
Oh, we use that loosely. That's very loosely.
That's fine, it counts.
I've had such a cool and different experience, I think, than most people in life. It's just a fortunate thing for me. I've lived a really cool life.
I wanted to ask you about this mantra that you carry with you, heads down, eyes up.
So head down, eyes up. I was working out, the mirror was right in front of me, and I was rehabbing from an ankle injury I had. And I looked in the mirror, my head was down, my eyes were up, and I just looked determined. I was like, man, I just caught myself looking a certain way. And so I just kind of kept saying that to myself through rehab, was head down, eyes up, keep going. Like, forget about what happened to your ankle, forget about what's going on over here, and just focus on the steps you got to do to get better. That's the mentality I kept, was head down, eyes up, keep going. And I held that onto that through music.
And I love that that is a key lyric in Lions.
That's right.
Our heads are down with our eyes up.
I'd love to hear some of the stories behind each of these songs.
Some may say we're too loud, some may say we're too proud. Well, there's lambs and there's lions.
I had the idea for just Lambs and Lions. I didn't know what it meant, and it just started turning into some funky metal sounding track. And I was like, man, this feels like something we should write before a football game. Funny story about that. We were at J.J. Watt's farm 2 years ago. We're just hanging out, having a good time, and I played him that song. And I get home, a month later, I get a text from J.J. saying, hey, man, what was that song? Something about a lion. He said, I love that, man. And so when he said that, that let me know we hit the mark. That's the foundation of the album, for sure.
All right, let's get into the second one, On Tonight.
I hope 115 rolls around. You need me like I need you right now.
But it's one of the few I didn't write. When I heard the song, I was like, man, that sounds like something I would have been in the room to write. And everybody's been in that situation where it's like, are we on, are we off? I don't know what's going on with me and this girl.
Unforgettable.
It's about that girl, you just can't forget her no matter how long time goes by.
No matter where we go, no matter what we do, if you're there, girl, I've got my eyes on you.
Eyes on You to me is the biggest song of my career so far. That one I can tell you will be a single for sure. Second verse says, I can't believe I'm about to say, like, let this out the bag, but it is what it is. So second verse says,
Speaking of the coast, remember Pfeiffer Beach, you and me, that sunset cliffs by the sea.
my buddy and I, we did a road trip. We stop in Big Sur, and we go to Pfeiffer Beach, and we're sitting there, the sun's setting. We've had an awesome trip together. He's my college roommate. Big 6'8", probably 300-pound offensive lineman, played in the NFL for 10 years. And I'm sitting there watching the sun go down, and it's the most perfect scene you can ask for. And I'm kind of just staring at it, and all of a sudden I look to my left. I'm like, man, this ain't right, because I see Big Garrett over there. He's just sitting there like this, watching the sunset. I'm like,
Just sharing a casual romantic moment together.
this is the most romantic thing I've ever done, and it's with my big buddy Garrett.
I love that.
So I turned that and I flipped it to it's about the girl in the song.
There we go. That's funny. Saved Me.
Living on the edge, falling fast and hard.
Yeah, I've calmed down a little in the last few years. Finally, you grow up and you learn who you are as a person, as an artist. And that's what that song is about. It's about meeting that girl that kind of grabs you by the neck and says, you're coming with me, you're going to calm down a little bit. And no matter how tough guys are, they'll admit at some point they always want a girl that'll do that.
I love this title, One Love, One Kiss, One Drink, One Song.
Yeah, and that was not planned.
Everybody got that one love, that one kiss. Keep thinking about what you're gonna miss as soon as they go.
So that's inspired by a real relationship. You go through a breakup and it's like, you're not just over that person right away. If you were, it was probably a pretty worthless relationship.
Jack Daniels showed up.
That's pretty
Always
self-explanatory.
trouble.
Jack Daniels showed up.
I wanted a fun song that's me, and that's just energetic, and we could do it live shows. Our live shows how I've built my entire career. So before we ever had radio, we had our live show and people were showing up. So I wanted something that could supplement the live show and be us, be me, be in the band. And Jack Daniels is a pretty prevalent thing that we have on our tour. So it gets the tip of the hat every night.
Feels a Tennessee two-lane sky, shakes the Broadway bars at night.
When I wrote 3 Chords, it was like, to me, this is a more modern take on what country is at its roots right now. And some people would argue that and say, no, the guitars are too loud, I miss the old days, but that's just where it is right now. So I treated that one more, in my mind, like it's a real country song. It's too complicated these days, what people are saying, what's country, what's not. At the end of the day, it's 3 chords and the truth.
Amen.
It's the heart of the record.
Tonight knowing the secrets of life, but damn sure knowing where it starts. Amen.
That's the greatest line, I believe, on the record. And that's another one that I didn't write, which is crazy to me because I feel closest to that one probably than any other song on the record.
Last one, This Cowboy's Hat.
It's one of my favorite songs of all time. So it's a Chris Ledoux song, and I wanted to try to do the best I could with it. So I was like, if I screw this thing up, I'm not putting it out. I'm not going to try. I'm not going to go there and disrespect Chris like that. So my next thought was, what if Ned did it? Chris Ledoux, his dad, was my childhood hero. So we talked for an hour and a half on the phone, and we go over why I want to do it, how I want to do it. We came up with the idea, how about you do the verses and I do the chorus? His son singing it, which is real eerie because it sounds just like him.
Now I want to get to know you a little bit with this rapid fire round. First album you ever purchased?
The Chase by Garth Brooks.
First concert you ever attended?
Garth Brooks, Charlotte, North Carolina, 1996.
I'm sensing a theme. Song currently spinning on repeat.
16 by Thomas Rhett.
What I would give to be 16, wild and free.
If you weren't an artist, you'd probably be doing what?
Changing tires at Hendrick Motorsports.
One thing we'd never guess by looking at you.
That I have a Pinterest account. So I had vocal surgery one year, and I had 2 months where I couldn't do anything. So honestly, this is hard. This is embarrassing to admit. I got on Pinterest, and I saw this cool bed that somebody built. So I was like, I'm gonna go buy some lumber and I'm gonna build that bed.
So you just taught yourself, you just casually taught yourself off Pinterest how to make a bed.
Well, I mean, yeah, Pinterest.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If this is your first time with us, please subscribe to Entertainment Tonight on YouTube. We will be back again next Friday with a brand new episode of Certified Country. See you then.